Every single day, millions of people around the world enjoy a quick, comforting bowl of instant noodles. It's easy, affordable, and deeply satisfying. But what many don't realize is just how massive the scale of this simple meal has become. Globally, we go through close to 100 billion packs of instant noodles each year, enough for every person on Earth to have more than a dozen servings annually. Behind this everyday convenience lies an incredible story of innovation, precision engineering, and global impact. That familiar dry brick of noodles is more than just pantry filler. It's the product of a finely tuned industrial process. A choreography of automated machinery, food chemistry, and thoughtful design comes together to create one of the world's most beloved instant meals. Instant noodles were once named the most important Japanese invention of the 20th century. And it makes sense. They've saved countless students from late-night hunger, helped workers get through long days, and provided emergency relief during disasters. The man behind it all, Momofuku Ando, came up with the idea after witnessing post-war food shortages. Seeing long lines for a hot bowl of ramen, he envisioned a food that was inexpensive, long-lasting, easy to make, and available to all. That vision became a global phenomenon. The process begins with the most basic ingredient, wheat flour. Giant silos feed industrial mixers with flour, water, and sometimes a touch of salt or alkaline water to tweak the noodle's bite and appearance. Getting the moisture ratio just right is essential. Too wet, and the noodles become mushy. Too dry, and they won't bind properly. After mixing, the dough must rest. This pause allows the gluten to settle and become more pliable. Rested dough behaves better in the next step. Rolling. The thick, sticky mass is gradually flattened through a series of rollers. What starts out thicker than a forearm is reduced to a sheet thinner than rice paper. Each pass through the rollers not only thins the dough, but strengthens it. The rolling stretches the gluten and adds the springy chew we expect from well-made noodles. Once the dough reaches the perfect thickness, it enters a cutting machine. These high-speed blades carve it into long strands, with the width and texture tailored to the noodle type. Thin, wavy ramen or wider, flatter strands depending on the style. Though it looks simple, the cutting stage is highly precise. Each blade's angle and distance determines how the noodle cooks and feels. Some factories even tweak blade settings based on regional preferences or export requirements. Once cut, the noodles fall onto trays or move along conveyors, lightly coated in starch to prevent sticking. At this point, the noodles are raw and delicate, so they're steamed, briefly but intensely. Steam cooking partially gels the starch and firms up the noodles. It's what makes them able to hold their shape even after being rehydrated later on. Now comes the defining step, deep frying. The noodles pass through hot oil for just seconds. This rapid frying evaporates most of the moisture inside, creating a dry, shelf-stable product. It also gives instant noodles their crispy, airy texture before they're ever cooked at home. Some modern brands skip frying and opt for hot air drying instead, but traditional instant noodles still rely on the oil bath. After frying, the noodles are quickly cooled, often using blasts of cold air or water mist. This stops any residual cooking and helps lock in their final texture. They're then drained and transferred to drying chambers. Drying is about preservation. Any leftover moisture needs to be removed to ensure the noodles don't spoil over time. Whether through circulating warm air or longer ambient drying, the process is tightly controlled. Over-drying risks making the noodles too brittle. Under-drying could lead to microbial growth. Once dried, the noodles are molded into their final shape. Whether it's a perfect square for packet noodles or a circular disc to fit neatly into a cup. This step ensures consistency. The shape isn't just for aesthetics, it helps the noodles cook evenly when you add hot water. But a block of noodles alone isn't what makes instant ramen special. What defines each brand and flavor is the broth, the seasoning packets that turn hot water into something savory and satisfying. These flavorings are made separately in massive stainless steel kettles. Broths can be simple or elaborate, containing spices, oils, dehydrated vegetables, and even small bits of meat or seafood. After simmering, the liquid broth is turned into powder using spray drying or freeze drying. In some cases, concentrated oils or sauces are included for extra depth. These packets are portioned and paired with the noodles during packaging. Now, the final assembly begins. The noodle block, seasoning packets, and any toppings are placed into individual containers. Some brands include small packets of sesame oil, dried scallions, or even freeze-dried egg. Everything is sealed in airtight, moisture-resistant packaging, often with an inner foil lining to protect against humidity and light. The packaging isn't just designed for shelf life. Many instant noodle cups are built to act as both a container and a bowl. Just peel off the lid, add boiling water, and wait. This built-in convenience is part of what makes instant noodles so universally popular. Before shipping, every batch of noodles goes through quality control. Automated sensors check weight and seal integrity. Human inspectors examine appearance and consistency. And finally, taste testers try samples from every production lot to ensure the flavor is spot on. Despite their convenience and popularity, instant noodles haven't avoided scrutiny. Critics have pointed to high levels of sodium, saturated fats, and preservatives. In response, the industry has adapted. Many brands now offer low-sodium versions, whole grain options, and even gluten-free noodles made from rice or lentils. Some formulations have eliminated trans fats altogether, and others now include added fiber, protein, or vitamins to appeal to health-conscious consumers. What started as an emergency meal has become a culinary category all its own, capable of being tweaked, elevated, or customized endlessly. So the next time you tear open a packet of instant noodles, know that it represents decades of innovation, food science, and global culture, all packed into one neat square.